Hello, my name's Auntie Eva, and today I'm reading a book called The Magic House. It was written by Siri, who's 9, and she was one of the finalists in the Creator Book Challenge 2023. So well done, Siri. Let's listen to your magical creation. The Magic House, Chapter 1. It was Friday evening, and Emma was in her house. She was in the sitting room doodling. Her mum was out shopping and had left her alone inside the house. Thankfully, Emma had her phone, so she had that in her pocket along with some spare keys, so if anything goes wrong, she can call her mother. She was drawing scrumptious cakes and was about to pick up her pink pencil and colour in the soft petal dress of a smiling fairy sitting atop a gorgeous 3-tier lavender flower cake when the doorbell rang. Emma was about to answer it when it rang again, this time louder. It sounded like very long grass swaying in the wind next to a babbling brook. The sound was everywhere. It was too loud for her to bear. Emma sank to the floor, holding her ears, and closed her eyes until it stopped. She got up and examined the room. Everything was normal until she heard glass shatter. Emma ran towards the sound and found herself at the kitchen. Pieces of her mum's favourite vase were scattered all over the tiles next to the kitchen counter. Then she saw something that made her jaw drop. Chapter 2. When she was young, Emma made pottery. She doesn't do it anymore ever since she grazed her pointing finger on a moving wheel. Emma made a clay gnome that soon got painted by Emma's mother, Harriet. She loved her gnome so much that she made a small house for him. Every week she would deliver him acorns and berries. She gave him the name Nutberry on his 3rd birthday. There was something different about him, though. How did he get there? Emma thought. She picked up the gnome when it spoke. Hey, let go of me! Nutberry shouted. Emma let go, startled. He started lecturing her about being more careful, but Emma didn't have time for this. She edged past him, frantically running to the kitchen. More gnomes were there. There were gnomes throwing pots and pans off the shelves, taking turns to jump into the field sink, and planting flowers from the garden into bowls using forks and spoons. What is going on? Thought Emma. Before she could duck, a pot hit her forehead. Magic, whispered Emma under her breath. Magic is the cause of this. She felt dizzy and heard giggling from the main room. She stumbled to the main room and peered over from behind the wall. Chapter 3. She couldn't help giving a little laugh at what she saw. Fairies were dressing up in hers and her mother's clothes, which they had shrunk with their magic. They were also using makeup from the bathroom, which they had smeared on each other's faces. Some painted their nails, others had blush on their cheeks and were rubbing lipstick and eyeshadow. There was even a group that admired themselves in the mirrors, which were actually shards of glass, boasting about their lovely hairstyles. Buzz off! Emma shooed the fairies away and started picking up hairbrushes, cosmetics and accessories. She needed to put these back in the bathroom before she could search for what she was looking for. She had read a book about magic that might help figure out how to stop the chaos. The book is on the highest shelf of the bookcase in the sitting room, and the cover felt strangely calming. Emma had to uncover its secrets before something bad happened. She strode through the house until she stopped at the staircase. She jumped back as a small green person with a long nose and big feet landed in front of her. "Oof," he said. He got up, rubbed his bottom, and looked up at Emma. The green person squeaked before making his way up the stairs. "Huh? What's that?" she managed to say. Bang! Emma fell to the ground with a thud. "Get off me!" Emma screamed as goblins fell off her clothes and made for the stairs. She stood up, breathing heavily, and started collecting the things she had dropped before ascending the stairs. Chapter 4. Every now and then a group of green people would slide down the railing, tumbling onto the carpet below. Emma sighed, relieved that none of the things she held broke. At the top there was a line of goblins waiting for their turn. Emma ignored them. When she got to the bedroom, the sound of clip-clopping hooves greeted her. Now unicorns pranced around the room, planting floral arrangements, chasing the small koi in the luxurious fish tank, and creating magical beams of light to play laser tag, diving in and out of the covers. A small blue Pegasus trotted towards her. He greeted her with some small bright fireworks before joining a game of hide and seek. Emma tiptoed through the room, trying not to step on the magical horses, as they were quite small. As she got to the other side, to the built-in bathroom, the door was ajar. She could hear clapping from where she was standing. Emma stepped inside. Chapter 5. Loudspeakers boomed, the sound of whistles piercing the air. Emma had entered the room in the middle of a gymnastics competition. But instead of humans, there were mer people. Boys and girls did fantastic flips and spectacular somersaults, diving into the bathtub that was being used for a pool. Others watched from the sidelines, sitting on toothbrushes and tubs of toothpaste, or cheerleading with pom-poms from Emma's craft trolley. "Excuse me, miss, where is your ticket?" a small voice said. Emma was so amazed by the scene before her that she didn't spot the small mermaid near the door holding a crumb-sized stapler. Her tail was a kaleidoscope of red, lime, rosy pink and orange, with a brown satin ribbon tied around the waist. The mermaid's purple eyes shone, pushing back her silky black hair and waiting for an answer. "That's okay," the mermaid said politely. "Alexandria, at your service." Emma made her way to one of the cabinets and placed the items she was carrying before exiting the room. Before she left, Emma looked out of the window. Huge winged lizards roamed the backyard. Oh dear, Emma knew that meant trouble. She had to get down fast. Emma spotted a sheet in the far corner, and an idea popped into her head. Chapter 6. Emma stood on the windowsill waiting for her plan to take flight. Then she jumped, using the sheet as a parachute. Emma floated down to the garden below. As her feet touched the ground, unharmed, a wave washed over her. Emma flung the sheet away and sprinted to the clawed reptilians. Dragons of all the colours she could imagine stood in various places of the backyard. Emma took a step. Suddenly, 40 eyes looked her way. A yellow dragon with charcoal-coloured spikes stepped forward. He flew up to Emma so that he was at eye level and spoke. Strangers aren't allowed here. Please leave. Or else. Emma stood her ground. Or else this, the dragon replied gruffly. He stepped aside to reveal a cage of brambles. It was surrounded by a ring of fire, flames stretching high. Mum? Emma stammered. For a moment her heart skipped a beat. Darling, what's going on? Her mum said in a worried tone. Is this what I think it is? We found her at the front of the house, the dragon said, snarling. Emma breathed heavily. Tears prickled the backs of her eyes, thinking what she should do next. Sorry, Mum, she said, sprinting to the door. Chapter 7. Some of the dragons tried to stop her, but Emma dodged them, making it safely inside. Her destination was set for the sitting room. She needed to get the book before anyone else got their hands on it. Surprisingly, no one could be seen when Emma passed the kitchen. She did see some eyes peeking out from the cabinets and thought gnomes were sneaking away when she wasn't looking. Emma went into the sitting room and narrowly missed tripping over something at the entrance. An animal, half eagle, half lion, was snoozing, barely making a sound. She crept past and found griffins lying around the place, the same as the first one. Emma rounded the corner and spotted 3 griffins playing around the bookcase. How am I going to get that book now? She groaned. Emma sat down and cried from the thought of not seeing her mum again. There was a prrrr in front of her. Emma opened her eyes. 3 griffins popped up. She stood up and ran. She reached the bookcase, plucked the book out and bolted. She could hear the griffins waking up to join the chase, but they scampered right past her. Emma overtook them and saw all the mythical creatures she had met in a big line at the backyard door. Something was going on, but what? It was time to investigate. Chapter 8. She blended in the crowd, crawling on her knees so as not to be seen. In front of her was a big, swirly doorway. Emma hid behind a bush to watch without being spotted. Someone would step through, vanishing to wherever it led. Without thinking twice, Emma rushed out of her hiding place. But they were ready. Dragons sprang into action, pinning her to the ground. Gag her, the charcoal dragon ordered. As the last of the line left, the dragon spoke up. And now we leave. All hail King Argon. They chorused as they stepped through. No, she said in a muffled tone. Harriet disappeared and the portal dissolved into thin air. All that was left was her mum's sapphire stone ring. Emma ripped the tape off her mouth and picked it up. She slipped it on her finger. It fitted perfectly. She broke into sobs. I'm never going to see her again, she wailed. Emma closed her teary eyes. She pictured her standing in front of her. She was laughing. She was calm, happy. Emma ran to her, tears streaming down her face. Oh, sweetheart, she said softly when Emma hugged her. Mum, Emma said quietly, I'm scared. You're a brave girl, Emma. I need you to be strong. But I don't know what to do, Emma whispered. It will be okay. You will find me, Harriet said with tears in her eyes. Now, open your eyes and move on. Emma opened her eyes and she was back in the garden. She touched the ring. Bit by bit, the fear ebbed away. I will find her, no matter what, Emma cried bravely. But for now, it was time to take the matter into her own hands. To be continued. What a magical story, Siri. Thanks for listening.